Welcome to Parkside Chat, episode 2. Welcome. So glad everyone is here. We have a special episode for you today. It's our first episode with a guest.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm Brian.
And I'm TJ.
And I'm Liz.
Hello, ladies. How is everyone?
Hello.
I guess it's Monday, so how's everyone? How was the weekend? Good?
It was hot.
It was so hot. We were at Mickey's Not So Scary on Friday night,
and
our guest is going to attest to this as well of how hot it was because she was there at the same time we were, and it was freaking hot. But we got through it. So thank you to everyone for joining. I want to say that this episode is brought to you in part by planetwithliz.com. So Liz, share a little bit about planetwithliz.com.
I'm here to support travel inspiration, travel needs, travel goals, whatever you want to go and visit in the next year or 2 years. I'm here to help.
Yep. So Liz is going to get you any travel quote that you need, whether it's Walt Disney World, Disney Cruise Line, Virgin Voyages, which our guest also knows about, which we could talk about Virgin Voyages with our guest as well. So TJ, what do we have in store? Can you announce our guest?
Yeah. So our guest is going to be Adriana, Bibbidi Bobbidi Broke. But today is going to be all about Ookie Spooky season. So even though it's August and it's still hot outside, Disney has officially announced it is Halloween time. So we're going to get into all things Halloween. We're going to get into some park news. We're going to talk about Hawaii. We're going to talk about a new development coming to Orlando. And then we're going to bring in our guest and we're going to talk about all Halloween.
All right. So let's get into it. I'm going to start off news today with, I've started to call this is the season of foodie events in Central Florida. So we have Taste Central Florida that's coming up. And then we have Cattle Barons Ball that's coming up. In the last about 3 weeks, I've been to 2 of the media previews for both of those. What this is for both of them, they both go to charity. So Taste Central Florida gives back to children in hunger or children in need that are hungry, hungry children, as well as homeless, right? So that's what their give back is. And then Cattle Barons gives to American Cancer Society. In fact, I think it's the Central Florida of American Cancer Society. They put on Cattle Barons. First time going to Taste Central Florida. After the show airs, in the description, I will put links on how you can go to these events. But basically, the idea of these events is that it's just a room full of vendors in the think in terms of restaurants and beverage vendors. So even some of the Disney restaurants come in, like Yak and Yeti. I think STK from Disney Springs. I think they might be at both events, but it's just a floor. Think food and wine at Epcot, but like just a night of food and wine
and indoors.
So you don't have to
love that.
And yeah, you just walk around, and we really
it was so good.
And in case you don't know, TJ and I are sitting almost next to each other. His camera's over. I'm actually looking slightly over to TJ. So we're like sitting right next to each other. But don't you love these events?
I do. Yeah, they're so good.
So Cattle Barons is September 9th. And then Taste is a little bit sooner. It's actually this Friday. So you still have a chance to grab your tickets. It's a great way to give back because the proceeds are going to a great cause. And it is a lot. It's a lot of fun. And you can get tipsy at these things with all the alcohol.
I'm checking on Frontier right now what the flight is to get down to Florida.
It's so good. So that's my news. I just wanted to spotlight that. And to me, this is we're entering like really, it's foodie season for us all the time because we're always doing foodie things. But there's a lot of foodie events like Food and Wine's happening. These 2 events, Swan and Dolphins is coming up. And then now Signia by Hilton Bonnet Creek, they have their own thing that happens later in the season. So I just want you guys to know about that. So TJ, what do you have for us today?
Yeah. So if you guys remember where there used to be an old Nickelodeon hotel across from where now the Marriott World Center is, there's actually going to be a new development that's going to bring that back. So I'm going to pull up my notes. And according to attractionsmagazine.com, construction has begun on Everett Place, a development near Walt Disney World, featuring shopping, dining, several hotels, including Nickelodeon hotels and resorts. So that theming is going to come back.
So TJ asked me if I knew about this, and I kind of did years and years ago. I worked for like 2 weeks for the development company that did Margaritaville, and they were the ones developing this Nickelodeon resort to come back. And when I was working there, it's been so many years now, I feel like I can share this. I'm not in the NBA, but they were going to also develop like a Paramount Studios park back in 8 years ago. That was in the plan. So I wonder if anything like that would come about as well. So anyway, that's just a tidbit I know about that.
Yeah,
I never responded to you because I think I was busy. I have heard of the Nickelodeon resort coming back.
Yeah, so this is already in like phase 1 of development, and it's going to sit on 224 acres near Walt Disney World Resort, and it's going to sit on the intersection of US Route 192 and State Road 429 highway. So it's going to be just south of Walt Disney World, which is pretty cool. It's going to be really exciting.
Cool. All right, thank you, TJ. And Liz, what do you got for us today?
Well, I would be remiss if I didn't sort of touch on the wildfires in Maui right now. It's pretty devastating. We're at, I think, a death toll of almost 100 residents, and that's super sad. So our thoughts and prayers, but like our hearts really go out to the residents there, and certainly to folks that were maybe thinking of traveling there soon or had travel plans that had to change, because it is pretty horrifying what's happening to that community right now. But in maybe more exciting news, or like in a change of news, Norwegian Cruise Line just welcomed their newest ship in its inaugural sail last week, the Norwegian Viva, which is in their Prima class, super high class, very upscale, very modern.
Very
I think the sailing capacity. I know. When are we signing up for a new sailing with them? I think we need to get on Virgin or on Norwegian's list. But just over 3,000 guests for their capacity. They'll be in San Juan, Puerto Rico.
It's a pretty big ship.
It is a big ship.
3,000.
If you think about the ships that we've sailed on, yeah. And then this December will be Caribbean cruises, so maybe we can hop on one of those.
Okay.
The next couple months. That will be kind of fun.
So the ship is going to come to the Caribbean.
Yes.
So where is the port? Is it going to be Orlando or Port Canaveral, or is it going to be down in Miami?
Well, that's a great question.
You don't know yet. Okay.
I am not sure. More to come. In corporate speak, we'll talk offline about that.
There you go.
But it does look like a gorgeous ship. It's the sister ship to the I'm forgetting her name. The Norwegian Prima. The Prima, which was also just released last year. So gorgeous ship. A lot of fun to be had by all.
Okay, yay. Well, I've never done Norwegian. I hear good things about Norwegian. We'll have to ask Adriana if she knows anything about Norwegian. But thank you, Liz. And yes, our thoughts, if you can do anything to, help with Maui and what's going on there, please look. I know I've seen several resources on my Instagram stories to help out with that. So please do. It's very devastating. So thank you, Liz, for sharing about the Norwegian Viva, right? Viva?
Mm-hmm.
All right, the Viva. All right. So, well, it is my pleasure to bring on our guest. Very excited that our first guest is here on our second episode. So please welcome Adriana Redding, Bippity Boppity Bro.
Yay!
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. I am so excited. I'm excited about the season. We are officially in spooky season. I know some people are like, it's August. But Disney said it's spooky season, so officially we're here. All right? I'm ready to talk about it.
That's
Mhm.
true because I think we were at the end of the night on Friday. We were all looking at each other and be like, "What's happening?" It's August 11th, and we're soaking wet in the
Mm.
bars.
Yeah, we were like literally in a heat wave, like portable fans, cooling towels trying to cool us down. It's 100 degrees outside, and Disney is like, well, we put the Mickey pumpkins out, so
And
it's
so
Halloween.
what did we do? We answered the call.
Mm.
Yeah, we showed up in full Halloween regalia. We was like, yeah, we're for it. Let's do this.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's talk about what is your favorite thing happening at or that you experienced at Bippy Boppity or Spoopy Boppity at the party on Friday night. What was your favorite thing?
Ooh, okay. So, so when people message me and they're like, "How many rides were you able to get on?" and I'm like, "Absolutely none," because why would I get on a ride? I am excited about the individual entertainment that they have for Mickey's Not So Scary. I think it's a wonderful event. And I love the street sphere. I really enjoyed the new pirate band that they have, singing like these pirate songs going on right in front of Pirates of the Caribbean. That was my favorite new thing that was going on. Of course, the cadaver dance is always fun. But of course, I would be remiss if I did not mention that I am a foodie. So the new food this year, I think Disney absolutely blew it out of the water. For years and years, we have been complaining that there has not been enough savory options. There has
Mhm.
only been sweet. And this year they said, you know what? We're going to give you a plethora of savory options for you to eat as well. And I think a lot of the new things that they brought out were amazing. I loved the char siu wings. They look like bat wings or dragon wings when the way they present them.
They did,
They
yeah.
have they have like a smoky and sweet flavor to them. I adored them. Unfortunately, I was not able to get the bag of bones, the piggy wings. I know you guys tried them, but by the time I had got to Pecos Bill around, I want to say 8:30, 8:45, they had already sold out.
Mhm.
Actually, okay.
So,
So I just had somebody text me and say that my audio wasn't great. So we had audio issues before. So this is what a live show is all about, right? So if you're in the chat, I know there's some people watching on YouTube live right now. Apologize to those who are rewatching and you're getting the replay, but let me know. You can feel free in the chat. Let us know how my audio is. Now, the fact that I changed because I changed mics, TJ is gonna have to have to speak loud because now this mic is not picking you up. Okay. So we're kind of going. This is our second episode. It's still kind of new for us. So, Adriana, my response then is we didn't actually have the bag of bones. We only had three. We only had three things. So we had the wings, which I like the wings. We had the cupcake. I didn't love the cupcake.
It was one dry Cheeto on top.
And then we had, what else did we have? Oh, we talked about this. We had the graveyard, the tropical graveyard.
oh my God! The fact that both of us were absolutely shook by the tropical graveyard. So it looks like worms and dirt. If you know anything about worms and dirt, it's just pudding and Jello and crumbled up Oreos on top. Nothing special. The kiddies have had it for forever. It was at every Halloween party, or everybody's homemade Halloween party. It's never been at Mickey's Not So Scary. But the pudding mixture that they put in it was absolutely delicious. It was like a tropical mango. It tasted more pina colada to me. It was definitely mango, but it was more pina colada. And then just the little bit of chocolate that you get from the Oreo was amazing. I was kind of mad that it came in this little container. Like you can see on my face, I am not acting. I'm not kidding. When I put that thing in my mouth, I was like,
Yeah.
It was so good.
Totally. We were not expecting that, right?
No, I was shook.
Yeah, so what I account it to too is the why it tasted so good. And yeah, I don't know why we could talk so long about this mousse, but the reason why is because one of the reasons I think because it was so hot and like muggy. It was muggy because it was dark but still 90 degrees outside. And so they pulled ours from the back room out of the fridge. And so I think it was fresh and it was super cold and just really refreshing. So 10 out of 10 for me. And that's what I said on socials. 10 out of 10 was my rating on that one. And it looks so gimmicky, but it's really good.
That's the part that I love about it. I appreciate a really good gimmick. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's Halloween, give me cheesy Halloween food, but make it good, because I like live on the side of nostalgia versus what an actual adult would want. And I think that's why the Tropical Graveyard was so well done, because it was worms and dirt, but done in a more grown up way.
But if we would have had that at a nice restaurant, we would have thought, oh my gosh, it tastes so good. Maybe not in that exact presentation, but we would have been like, oh, this is a nice dessert. Like, it's a very tasty dessert.
Yes.
So, all right. So we're going to like not talk all night about the tropical
worms and dirt.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk all night about worms and dirt. So, but yeah, I really like that. So at the end of the night, we finished the night, the both of us, all three of us finished the night over watching the Castle Stage show. And I love that show so much. It's
so good.
It is.
I feel like for Mickey's Not So Scary and Mickey's Very Merry Halloween, Very, Very Merry Christmas Party, I think the Castle show is the most underrated events of the night. They both kind of just bring you into the spirit of whatever holiday we're celebrating. I think it's the perfect ending to the night. I've always seen it at midnight because it's the last showing. And I think to hear the Sanderson sisters sing their signature song at the end of the night, it's just the perfect kickoff to Halloween.
Yes, absolutely. And it's a nice way to end, because I think the Christmas party too, they always have a show to close out the Christmas party at the end of the night. And so that's a pro tip from me. You don't have to rush out of the park. There's one final show that closes out everything. So, pro tip, go and make that be your last thing. And then you can leisurely leave the park if you want to, and then kind of wait for the park to clear out if you want those final shots and get the most or the out of your money, right, that you've paid to come to the special event. But Mickey's Not So Scary, I think, is my preference over Christmas in terms of the parties and the offerings. But I think both are fantastic, and it's nice to have them back, right? It's nice to have them. They were gone for a few years and then kind of did a different variation on it, but it's nice to have them fully back. So
yeah, it is. I feel like that was one of the many things that we truly did miss when we were in COVID protocol, was the extra shows and the extra touches that really made it magical. And like I said, for me, watching that last show at midnight, after you've eaten all this candy and sweets and drinks, and that really caps off the night in a very impressive way.
Yes, for sure. And so don't you think too, like, we're going a second night? I'm glad we're going a second night, because there is so much we missed. Like, it is so jam-packed with stuff. What is your pro tip? Like, what if you had a night, if you're going on one night, you're only going one night, Adriana, what's your game plan? Like, what's your pro tips for getting the most, in your opinion, out of specifically Mickey's Not So Scary?
If you're only going to go to Mickey's Not So Scary one night, and obviously, that's the majority of people. Everybody is not blessed to have 2 nights. They're lucky to get the one night. So I would say one, take advantage of the fact that there are influencers out here who are going on night one, and they're telling you the best things to eat, the best things to drink, the best way to do the entertainment. We want to be a wealth of knowledge, and do not feel hesitant to reach out and simply ask questions. I think you need to, one, make a plan. Disney does a really good job of creating a foodie guide prior to, and then we do a good job of trying these foods. So watch reviews, decide what food that you think that you want to try. Second off, make a priority for the night. Is your priority to watch the parade twice? The parade runs twice. It is something that you will not see on a regular day, and so for me, that is a priority. So do you want to see the parade both times? Do you want to see the castle show? The castle show shows 5 times throughout the night. If you love it, how many times do you truly want to see it? Is once enough? There are dance parties. There's a dance party inside of, right outside of Tomorrowland, the stage right by the People Mover, and there's also a dance party inside of Cosmic Rays. Are the dance parties important to you? Do you have children who would love to, have a good time with these? And these are not just like they're throwing on music and letting children have their way. They have characters. They have a DJ that's instructing them what to do. It's a very interactive experience, and I truly think that it is a fun time. So I said all that to say, I think making a plan prior to you going to the event is smart. Do not go in blind. You will walk around in a circle thinking, what should I do? Because there's just so much to absorb. Do you want to see characters? And if you want to see characters, who are the most important characters to you? Some of these characters take 45 minutes to an hour to stand in line to see.
Yeah, the seven dwarves. We walked by the 7 dwarves, and it was an hour wait. It was an hour wait for the 7 dwarves. So, and that's new, freshly back this year. They always used to be at the parties, but they're freshly back this year. So, I mean, you got to figure out if that's something that you want to do. My 2 pro tips are, if you're coming for one night, get into the park as soon as you can, which I believe is 4 p.m. 4
p.m.
And then my second, if you want to ride Tron, which I think some of us learned, is that Tron has a virtual queue. You can't just do standby that night for the party. You enter virtual queue at 6 p.m. You do not have to be in the park to enter virtual queue. I sought out I think it's written somewhere online. Liz told us that it's written somewhere online, but we didn't know in the moment. So we did seek out a leader, because even like some of the cast members were not sure. And so we sought out a leader. You do not have to be in the park. You just have to have your tickets attached to your My Disney Experience account, so that it allows you to go in and get a virtual queue spot. If rides are what you want, because if you want to do rides, I mean, it's a great night to do rides as well.
Mm-hmm. Just a wait time.
Yeah, it is a good night to do rides, and some of them have a really cool overlay. Space Mountain has a really cool overlay. Pirates of the Caribbean has a really good overlay. My number one thing is make a plan for what you think is important, and stick to it. Do not hesitate. If you know you want to see 7 Dwarfs, or you want to see Moana, and the wait is an hour, don't leave and come back and think that it's going to go down. Make a plan and just commit to it, and you'll probably end up doing everything that you want is your most important thing to do.
Exactly. All right, so we are going to stay on the topic of food, but we are going to move over, because you experienced something last week. I think it was last week over at Universal. You got a media preview of its Taste of Horror. Is that correct?
Yes, it's called Taste of Terror.
Taste of Terror. Sorry, excuse me. So tell us, this is new this year. So tell us, what is Taste of Terror over at Universal Studios?
So Taste of Terror is a brand new event. I said as a whole reels about it. I'll throw it up on TikTok later on tonight as well. I have a whole reels about it. It's called Taste of Terror. It is a brand new ticketed event. It is a dining experience. I think it's currently $135.99 per person. And you get to, essentially, they created a Benny Halloween Horror Nights inside of one of their sound stages, where you get to walk around I think there's 8 booths in total. And try a lot of the food from Halloween Horror Nights prior to the event starting. This is specifically for foodies, specifically for people who want to eat at Halloween Horror Nights and enjoy themed food. There is not any houses inside of this event. There's not any scare actors inside of this event. It is purely an eating and drinking event. But if you truly enjoy eating, you're going to be able to get some of the food from The Last of Us. You're going to be able to get some of the food from Good Guys, the Chucky booth. They always have like a Day of the Dead Mexican booth that is always amazing. So you're going to be able to try some of those things ahead of time. And it's also all you can eat and all you can drink for 2.5 hours. So for me, I personally think the price point of $135 is great for all you can eat, all you can drink. But it's really.
So Right On Orlando also let us
Yes.
know. I'm just putting this back up on. So Right On Orlando says there's also a non-alcoholic option as well for $89, which I think that's awesome as well.
Oh yes. So I am a drinker. So as a drinker for $135, and you tell me I can drink all I want for 2.5 hours, I'm like, great. But if you're not a drinker, that yes, there Right On Danielle is correct. There is another ticket price where you can eat all you want for $89.99, and it does include soda as well. Not the alcoholic option. Me personally, I truly enjoyed The Last of Us options. I am a sucker for a theme.
Okay, so what were give us a preview of give us like describe The Last of Us options.
Okay, so The Last of Us, in this particular setting, you'll get 2 of the options. So you'll get one, which is the ravioli. It is a very delicious ravioli that has with
mushrooms.
With mushrooms. It has like fried and gnocchi mushrooms on top, so they look like they're coming out of the can like cordyceps. There's that Fedra theming on it. If you're into The Last of Us, it's so good. And one of the things I pointed out in my own stories is it's ravioli because Ellie, one of the characters from The Last of Us, she tries Chef Boyardee for the first time, and she's like, "Oh my God, this is amazing!" And so you are eating this really good ravioli. It's way better than Chef Boyardee. You're eating this really good ravioli, and you're having your Ellie moment. You're like, "Oh my God, this is amazing!" They also have the Salt Lake City coffee, which is a spiked iced coffee with rum. It is also another reference to the game of Joel, the main character, drinking coffee, and Ellie, the other protagonist, be like, "Ugh, coffee is disgusting. I don't ever want to try this." But he needs the coffee to stay woke and protect her, and it has a little shot of rum in it as well. So you like, if you need that to stay woke through all of these houses, it's amazing. I said all that to say the event is really fun. If you want to do a preview of Halloween Horror Nights food prior to the event, I highly suggest it. But also, all of these options will be served at Halloween Horror Nights when it actually starts on September 1st.
All right. Love it. That sounds really cool. And I love that we're kind of they're adding things on, right? They're creating multiple experiences. And I know Universal, I think, is really working on their food game.
Yeah. So insider tip, I have heard that this is an event that they actually do every year, but it is not open to the public. It is like a team member executives type of thing where they show them what's going to happen at Halloween Horror Nights. So we are kind of getting a sneak peek into the ins and outs of Universal, and they decided to make it an event that's open to the public, which I think is really cool.
Awesome. I mean, why not take what's already kind of been established and carry it over into something for the public? So what are you most looking forward to outside of food? What are you most looking forward to for Halloween Horror Nights? Are you a Horror Nights girly?
I am a Horror Nights girly, and I am a chicken shit. I am a chicken. I don't like scary. And I don't even watch horror movies. But I personally went to Horror Nights 3 years ago with a group of friends. They made me very brave. Did I spend the first couple of, houses with my head tucked into somebody's back? Absolutely.
Right.
But over time, I learned to love it. So I love Horror Nights. I am excited for two or three things. Of course, Last of Us. I said that. I am a huge Last of Us fan.
Did you play Last of Us?
I do not play video games other than Hogwarts Legacy.
Okay.
But Last of Us is very unique in the way that it was one of the first games that a collective of people watched people play it, because it does play like a movie. And you can go on YouTube right now if you don't know nothing about The Last of Us. This is based off the game, not off the show, which they're very similar but different. So if you've watched The Last of Us show, you will get it. But you can also go on YouTube and watch just the cut scenes of people playing the game. It's so good. It's such an amazing game. Oh yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful story. Other things that I'm excited about, all of the scare zones this year are a singular theme. It is called Dr. Oddfellow, and he is a black vampire voodoo master.
He reminds me of Dr. Facilier, the little like clip art that they have of him. And I'm
like,
I want this. This is what
he is giving Dr. Facilier very much. And I'm very excited for like a black horror protagonist, because I think that's one of the many misconceptions is that black people don't like horror. It's because we always died in the movies. They always made us die. But we love it. We do love horror. Right. The black person dies first. Or the girl dies first. And so I think it's really cool that we're going to get all of the scare zones be Dr. Oddfellow. My most anticipated house, I think, is a sleeper. I'm really excited about Dueling Dragons.
Yeah, that seems so interesting.
It does. It seems so cool. This whole idea of Dueling Dragons, and I know that was a previous ride at Halloween Horror. I mean, at Universal, and now they're turning it into a house. And I think the implications could be really cool. Where we get some really hot rooms, some really cold rooms, giant dragons. I'm excited to see what it is.
You know what I liked last year? One of my favorites was the ship one. Where it was like the
Fisherman's Wharf.
Yeah.
Fisherman's Wharf and Yeti the previous year were my favorite houses. I am a person who has a lot of sensory issues. And
do you wear earplugs at all or anything when you go into the houses?
So this year I am wearing earplugs because I will be going to like the day one media event where I'll be able to go through all 10 houses at once. And I know it is going to be a lot for my brain. So I am going to get the earplugs. But generally, if I go on my own, I can only get through, 4 or 5 houses at a time. And I'm about my limit at about house number 4. And Yeti was one of those houses that is very challenging if you have sensory issues. And it did up the scare level for me because it was a lot of sounds. It was a lot of shotguns and a lot, but it made it scarier for me. And so I do think Yeti is coming back. That is one of the houses that is coming back. It's a different iteration of it.
I was going to say,
so I'm excited.
Like they do different chapters, right? Because the shipwreck one had been there in years past, but it was a different iteration, like you said. Which this is last year was really our first year. I had been before many years ago, and I don't do horror either. But TJ,
I'm obsessed. I love it.
TJ has gotten
really, yeah, TJ.
Yes, it's all TJ's fault. And so now this year we have fear passes, and there is just something about if you haven't been to Halloween Horror Nights, there's something about the vibe of Halloween Horror Nights that is just. It's just so
unmatched.
Yeah, it's unmatched. It's just so good, the vibe. And even if you don't go into every house or you don't even, I imagine that we're just going to step in some nights and maybe do one house because we did get frequent fear, and that'll be fine. You know, like it's just the vibe.
Because it's like walking into this one big production.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time.
I love the fact that it is really like, if you don't like scary, and this is what I keep trying to tell Liz, because Liz doesn't want to do Halloween Horror Nights because she doesn't love that. But for me, it's not just about the scare things. It's also about the production value and the fact that these are temporary sets. And I just love that aspect of it, that people are getting to be creative, and they spend months and months building this temporary thing, and we then get to experience. It's really like kind of walking into a movie.
It really is. I am, like I said before, I'm not a huge horror person, but I will do horror nights. One of the big things for me is that they can't touch you. If they do touch you, they have to break character and tell you that they're sorry. So that for me lets me know that it isn't real. But also the whole vibe of it. I love rock music. I love metal music, and I feel like it's never-ending soundtrack of just metal music blasting and fire and debauchery, and you're drinking and you're having a good time. And it just feels very adult. It feels like the adult version of a kid in a candy store, just being kind of wild and free at night and being scared, and the adrenaline of being scared, and it's dark. And it's amazing. It's a good time.
Okay, Liz popped in, so Liz has something
I joined
to say.
in. No, I definitely want to do the behind the scenes tour, I think, first. To make it like maybe more real, or like have a better understanding like how everything works together, because I do not do well with scary things. Like Haunted Mansion is my level of like can't go higher than that. So I think if I had the chance to do that type of tour to see kind of how it all works behind the scenes, then I'd be in.
So yeah, if people don't know, you can go on tours. You can do, I think you can do like, there's a tour with, I think 3 houses, and then there's a version of the tour I think with 6 houses. So you can do the tour as well. So I definitely recommend checking out tours. I thought Liz was coming on because she was telling us that we're talking too much and we need to move on.
Well,
we're so excited about the show. We're so excited about Halloween. So there is a few things I want to mention before TJ takes over and he's going to do trivia with us. So Adriana, tell us a little bit about your project with Delish and what you do with Delish for Iconic Eats. Tell us a little bit about that and kind of plug that, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am the host of a show called Iconic Eats. It's on Delish YouTube. We basically go to different theme parks and try as much of the food and drinks as we can. And I give you my unfiltered, honest opinion about these things. It's a very, very fun show. And we do a cruise also once a year. And so this year I was very blessed. The first cruise we ever did was Disney Wish.
That's right. You went on the Disney ship. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, I went on the Disney Wish. And then this year I was very blessed to be taken to Greece and get on the Virgin Voyages. A Resilient Lady. It was the Mermaiden Voyage. So it was the inaugural sailing. So I went all the way to Greece to try Virgin Voyages, a very adults only cruise line.
It was Virgin Voyages here. All of in fact, Liz has been on Virgin Voyages. Liz is a Virgin Voyages expert. She's been through all of their training, so she's an expert. We've been on 2 Virgin Voyages. We're stands here of Virgin Voyages.
I love it. I got our cruise was a little bit different. It was a brand new entertainment. We had a new menu at Razzle Dazzle. So we got to experience a lot of things that isn't on the other ships. I will, in the spirit of me having my pride ears on, I had never been on a ship that was just so queer friendly. It really caters to everyone and really brings home this theme of that everyone belongs. Everybody's love is valid. And do whatever it is that makes you happy. And I think while you're on vacation, for somebody to say that to you really makes the vacation go to a different level. And you being like, oh, I don't have to worry about, do I belong here? Because I feel like as a Black female, that is something that I do deal with a lot, of me feeling like, do I belong here? Are people okay with me being here? And Virgin does an amazing job of letting everybody know you do belong
Mhm.
here. We want you here, and we
For
want you
sure.
to have a good time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I love Virgin, love the vibe on the ships, and it's just a great experience. And yeah, so definitely if you're listening and you've never done a Virgin, or you've maybe heard of it, go watch Adriana's episodes on Delish of Virgin, but watch all of her episodes because
Yes!
we love her episodes of
Yeah, you can watch.
So good.
You can watch 2 seasons right now of Iconic Eats on Delish YouTube. If you just Google Delish Iconic Eats or Delish Adriana, it will pop up. And we have, been to Busch Gardens. We've been to Tampa and Williamsburg. Universal,
Disneyland?
Disneyland, yes. And this fall, we will be venturing into some of the Midwestern theme parks as well. So,
are you going to Dollywood?
Good time. I am begging for a Dollywood Christmas.
We want to go. So,
are you going to Silver Dollar City?
Silver Dollar City is on the list. Holiday World is on the list.
Holiday World.
Yeah, it is
around the same area, I believe.
Yeah, it is around the same area. That's going to be like a Thanksgiving episode. Cedar Point, we have there's so many theme parks in the US that you don't think about, and so we got a couple more seasons to go before we finish them all.
Oh well, and then we're gonna have the new Universal park in the middle of the country. We're gonna have the new Oklahoma theme park. There's so much coming. So
oh my god, yes, I'm excited about Epic Universe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, epic. Well, and then I was talking, there's the children's park, right, in Dallas, of Universal's doing a park just outside of Dallas, I believe, as well, focused on younger kids. So, it's an exciting time in theme park, especially with Epic Universe coming, because that's going to be epic.
And then can I just add a side note that
you may,
along with On Delish and then any other episode or any other content that you put out, Adriana, you're serving looks every single time. And it is so amazing what you do.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
And it was even before we became friends, before I found Delish, I found you on Instagram, and I would see you in the parks all the times, and your dresses are so amazing.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I feel like I spend so much time figuring out what I'm gonna wear, and it's just my own personal thing. I'm like, I just want to look this way, and so for other people to appreciate it and like it
looks
amazing.
Good every time.
We loved your dress for Mickey's Not So Scary. It was perfect, and that's part of. When you go to Adriana's Instagram on Bibbidi Boppity Broke, that's part of your tag is that you do budget fashion, I would say. So is that how you started? How did you get started? I know we're going into a whole different realm here, and we're going to turn this into an hour and a half show, but how did you get started with your social media presence?
Yeah, I think I've evolved a lot over the time that I have been on social media. But in the beginning, it was very much me being a broke 25-year-old who was obsessed with Disney and wanting to go to the parks all the time, but look cute and be one of the Instagram girlies, because I started this very much as a fan. I was not an influencer straight out the gate. And it was just me sharing my tips on how I go to the parks without spending a whole lot of money, and then me thrifting and finding budget clothes in order for me to go and feel on theme and be there. And that's where it really started. And then I started doing food. I really wanted to do food content because I love food, but I didn't know how to present it in the beginning. And so it's mostly just me doing fashion and me showing you tips on how to go to the park. And then over time it evolved into me giving more of my food reviews. And now I still do fashion. I love a good DIY project. I love a themed outfit. So that's my big thing now is when I go to the parks, no matter where I am, I want to present a theme. So it's whether it's Minions or whether it's going to be me going to Charlie Brown Christmas at the Gaylord Palms this year. It's all about me premeditating this very cool themed outfit so that I feel like I'm having a fuller experience. For me, the fashion is very much a part of the immersion.
Absolutely. Yeah. Your fashion is always on point. In fact, even like you went to Busch Gardens on, I think it was Sunday you went, and I was like, I don't know why I was surprised. I was like, of course she looks like absolutely flawless and cute in Busch Gardens, because we were there the day before. We haven't posted our content yet, but it'll be out soon. But we looked like hot messes compared to what Adriana was looking like in Busch Gardens in the 100-degree weather. She was looking like perfect and on point. And yeah, we looked dusty as heck.
I do wonder sometimes. I'm like, do people? Like, yes, we were on our way to Busch Gardens. And everyone's like, oh, is that what you're wearing? And I'm like, well, it's like a rainforest. Like, the pants have, like, rainforest on it. And then, like, the top is just very, like, I'm like, it's 100 degrees outside. And, like, I want to be cool, but I also want to show off that I'm going to a park that shows off animals. It was great. Oh, my gosh. I went for Beer Fest. I highly recommend Beer Fest. I am not a beer girly. And for me to go
did you try the raspberry lemonade? I think I recommended it to you, but did you try it or no?
No, so that the Rattler, I've had that one before when I went to Busch Gardens. But this year I tried the pumpkin. It was called Gourds Gone Wild. Oh my gosh.
Oh wow.
If you are a pumpkin spice person, get the Gourds Gone Wild. It was so delicious. And then we also had the Orange Crush. Which was like an orange beer. Delicious. I was like, I did not think that I was gonna leave Busch Gardens a beer girly, but I did.
Love it. All right, so I think that it's time for our trivia. So what do we have? What do you have for us?
Yeah, so this trivia is going to be all themed to Halloween.
All right. I'm going to pull Liz on because Liz is going to play with us. Let's play together. I don't know any of these questions. Adriana doesn't know any of these questions.
No, TJ.
Liz and TJ have been scheming, and I think Liz's husband even.
I sent TJ some articles. I don't know if he used
articles
any of them or not.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
With
so
take it away,
TJ.
But I didn't look at them, I swear.
And so everyone who's watching, there's people watching on YouTube. So I want you guys to comment get into that comment section. We want you to comment your answers. So we're all going to give our answers, and then you're going to tell us what the correct answer is, right? Is that how this is going to play out?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right.
Oh, did TJ freeze?
No, I'm here.
Oh, he's
okay.
gone.
On my end, he froze. Okay, go for it.
All right. So question 1 is going to be, what year was the first Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party? Was it A, 2005, B, 2011, C, 2014, or D, 2008?
I'm going to say A. I'm going to say A. That felt right.
What was A again? Repeat them one more time.
So again, A was 2005, B was 2011, C was 2014, and then D was 2008.
I'm gonna stick with Adriana. I'm gonna go with A as well. Liz,
I'm going B.
I think it's either A or D. I put it on record that it's either A or D, but I'm saying A.
She's committed.
Craig is saying A. Is there any other answers that are coming through before we get TJ
I'm
to
trying
tell
to
us?
remember if there was one during my CP, and I can't remember that we had one. So I'm going with B, but I'm not really sure.
Okay.
All right, so everyone buzzed in their final answers.
Yes.
All right, so the correct answer is actually D, 2008.
See, that's why I wanted to put it on record, that I felt in my shunda that it was either A or D.
That's so weird. Because I did my college program in 2005, and I swear there was a Mickey's Not So Scary at that point.
Maybe they called it something different.
Are we sure?
Yeah, it could be a branding thing.
All right. Well, I'm gonna have to fact check this.
Okay.
All
Okay,
right.
next.
What's the next question?
All right, question 2. Paul Frees, the voice of the ghost host on the Haunted Mansion, also provided voices for which of these characters? Was it A, Chip and Dale, B, Ludwig von Drake, C, Goofy, or D, Oliver from Oliver and Company?
B. I'm going B again.
I'm gonna say C.
I'm gonna say Oliver and Company. The last one. Liz, what did you say, Liz?
I'm
Adriana
pretty sure
saying
it's
C.
B. I'm pretty sure it's B.
Okay, go and anyone in the chat? Okay, go for it.
All right, so one of you actually got it right, and it was Liz. It's B, Ludwig von Drake.
Who's Ludwig von Drake?
He's the duck from.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. All right.
Okay,
We're ready.
So next question. This one is going to be for Universal. What was the first themed house for Universal's Halloween Horror Nights? Was it A, The Mummy, B, Universal's Monsters, C, Jaws, or D, Chucky?
D, Universal Monsters.
I gotta go with B again. Yeah. B.
I'm going
B all
with
day.
B, and Liz is going with B.
Gotta go with B.
I'm going to give the chat a few seconds.
Well, okay, let's go.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it was actually C, Jaws.
What?
Mhm.
Oh wow!
What? Okay, I want to know how that worked.
I'm going to let you.
Like,
Yeah,
I'm
how
gonna
could
give you
that be a
research.
scare house?
like the sharks came out from behind the wall. Like,
Yeah, they had
Maybe
little ping
Maybe you were in a
Right.
shed. Maybe you're in like the shed.
Oh yeah, I think you would be in a
You had
shed.
to
That
walk
makes
through.
sense.
Yeah.
pong.
that's so interesting.
Like
All
on
right,
the
well, that's a
ride
good
when you
one.
would
I
go
like that
through
one.
the shed. That would make sense.
I like that question. All right, next.
All right, so next one. In Disney's first Halloween animated short, Trick or Treat, who are the main characters? This one should be pretty easy. Was it A, Mickey and Minnie, B, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, C, Mickey, Donald, and Goofy, or D, Chip and Dale?
I'm gonna go D. Chip.
A.
I think it's Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
I've been
No,
wrong this
Chip
whole
and
time.
Liz, what did you say?
Chippendale.
Okay.
So one of you actually got it right. It was actually B, Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
I won.
The one time I don't choose B. Come on.
Craig said B too.
Yep.
All right.
All right, so question 5. What was the most popular Halloween costume of 2022? Was it A, witch costumes, B, Stranger Things, C, a fairy, or D, dinosaurs?
That's easy. Stranger Things. No, Liz is looking like no.
I'm feeling like my TikTok gave dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs.
See, I feel like my TikTok gave fairies.
Oh, okay. Let's do it.
It was actually A, witch costumes. It was the
Ew.
most purchased costume of 2022.
That's a very
Oh,
default.
because of Wednesday,
costume.
like the spooky Halloween Wednesday.
Yeah, but didn't Wednesday come after Halloween last year?
No, I
Did
think
it?
was
No,
like
Wednesday
right
was
before.
Halloween season. Yeah.
It was Halloween
Mhm.
season last year. Okay.
Mm.
Which I love that show.
All right.
Oh
so
my god,
next
I've watched Wednesday like 8 times.
Really?
It's
It
so
was
good.
so cute.
Yeah.
It's a good show. It's a really good show.
All right, next one. What is the name of the Halloween-inspired bar located in downtown Orlando? You guys should know this one.
Oh.
I got chills and scream.
Okay.
She was ready. She was ready.
So,
No
some of the other
hesitation.
answers.
Yeah, what were the
I'm
other
with
answers that
Adriana.
we had?
I made these up. So the other ones were A, Spooky Kooky Cocktails, B, Frankenstein's Lair,
Oh.
the actual answer, Cocktails and Screams, and then D, Chester's Dive Bar.
Uncle Fester's Dive Bar. Actually, the rest
You
of
know
the
what?
That one.
The first one, I think. What was the first one that you made up?
Spooky Kooky Cocktails.
I like that one.
I
I,
like
think we're gonna
Spooky
open
Kooky.
that business
Yeah.
up.
But B was
I like
actually one of the
Spooky Kookies.
names of the drinks on the menu.
Okay,
Frankenstein's Lair.
gotcha. So Adriana, you want to talk? You want to tell the people about cocktails and streams?
Obviously, I know a lot about it. I was like, oh yeah, cocktails and screams. Cocktails and screams is absolutely one of my favorite bars in downtown Orlando. It is a 365 Halloween themed bar. Horror. It is very spooky, ooky. And they have a lot of cool things that they do every week. They also have a really cool bar in the back, a secret speakeasy in the back called the Craft, where they will make you a specialty. Oh my gosh, you have to go. They will make you a specialty cocktail based upon your mood, how you feel, and they specialize in absinthe. And it's a really cool experience. You can't even photograph inside of it. I absolutely love it. So if you have time this Halloween season, go to Cocktails and Screams.
Or any time of year, since it is
it's 360.
Yes.
all year round.
If you're in Orlando, I think it is definitely worth. If you're coming to Orlando specifically for Halloween things, I think it's so worth doing Cocktails and Screams any time of the year. It's a very fun experience.
So, speaking on that note of Halloween themed bars, have you done the Universal? What is that name of that bar at City Walk? And they changed their theme.
The dead coconut, red coconut.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Have you been to any of their themed things?
Yes, I have. So I have been to the red and green coconut, which is when they do it for the holidays. The dead coconut, which is sometimes it is. I do believe it's called the dead coconut for Halloween and for Mardi Gras, or the dreaded coconut. Either way, I've been for 3 different occasions. They keep changing this bar. It is very cool. They make the different drinks. So for Halloween, it is all, Halloween theme, very spooky. Mardi Gras, they turn it into this big voodoo sort of bar. And then for Christmas, it is very kitschy 50s Christmas with all of the light up lights and whatnot. The drinks are always amazing. They make them, for whatever holiday it is. And I highly recommend it on your way into Halloween Horror Nights. Get you a little pre-drink.
Yes.
Get you a little liquid courage before you get in there.
We haven't done it yet, but
a little road soda,
if you will.
to
do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Exactly.
Any other questions?
Yeah.
All right. He has more questions.
Yeah.
Let's go for it.
So the next one is going
Let's
to be, in what country did Halloween originate? Was it A, Ireland, B, Canada, C, USA, or D, Germany?
I'm going to say D because I felt Germany in my shunda when you said it. I was like, I feel like that was German.
I don't.
I'm going to go C, US.
Yeah, I feel like US
Dia de los Muertos is
I think US has made it what it is, but I'm thinking that another country started it and then we just blew it up.
Yeah.
So
we America, we steal everything.
I'm gonna go with Germany as well.
We don't have an original thought. No. I'm gonna say Germany.
Craig says B. I don't know if Craig answered that for this one or the last one. Anyway, but what's the answer?
But the answer is actually Ireland.
Oh.
So it's a mix of
Ireland. But I was correct in that they stole that.
My people being Halloween.
So do you have any more history on that? Or
no, it was just Ireland and Great Britain.
No more history, just that. All right.
Come back next week as we dive.
Yeah, Craig was correct. Come on.
All right. So next question.
All right. So this is going to be the last one, and this is again for Universal. So this question is: how many consecutive years featured The Walking Dead as a haunted house at the event during the 2010s? Was it A, 2, B, 7, C, 5, or D, 8?
Part of me feels like it was 5. You know what? Before I went to Halloween Horror Nights, I thought Walking Dead was all they ever did. I thought it was just like a giant Walking Dead. And then the year I finally decided to go, Walking Dead was no longer a thing. So,
I'm gonna say 5. Adriana, what's your answer? Is that 5?
I'm saying 5. I'm saying 5 as well. But it's consecutive, so it could be weird where it's like they only did it 2 consecutive years. But I'm gonna stick with 5.
What's the option? Less than 5.
2.
I'm gonna go 2.
Craig is saying 2 as well. And
So-
Liz is saying 2.
Adriana and Brian both got it right.
5.
It's 5.
That
They did it. Well, you got to remember, this show has been on since
is a lot. Yeah, a
pretty much
long
the dawn of
time. That show, yeah,
It ran for a very long
long
time.
time.
And from what I believe, the spin-off's still going.
yeah.
Oh yeah, there's still spin-offs of The Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm.
That is a long time. Or not, I mean, yeah, it's a lot of years with the same theme. Yeah, I'm sure that every year was different, though, right? Like,
I would imagine based off of like the seasons.
the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, because new people die each year. They can't have the same characters.
Right.
All
Well,
right.
that's it.
Thank you so much.
That's our game session. Yeah.
Thank you for putting that together.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you,
And-
TJ.
Thank you, Liz, if you helped. I just told them, I was like, I don't want to have any part of it. I want them to be surprised with the questions and answers.
I just took that last one from you, Liz.
I sent some like BuzzFeed quizzes basically to TJ. Like, here, try to use these if you can.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Adriana, for joining us tonight. We appreciate being our first guest on Parkside
Yes.
Chat.
Yes, thank you.
And hopefully you'll be back
Thank
so that we can
you.
talk about more fun things in the future, what's going on in Orlando and across the world, across the globe.
And one last question for you.
Oh.
Where can the people find you?
Yeah.
Oh, you can find me at bippity-boppity_broke. It's right there on the screen. On
Oh, you know what?
YouTube. What?
We know before you say YouTube, I'm gonna let you finish, but we have one more question after you. So YouTube and where else?
YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. All of my handles are the same across all those platforms.
So the question, because we want to ask the same like ending question for all of our guests to get the answer. And we almost forgot about this. So
on, boys.
where is the place that you like, your bucket list place or your next move in terms of travel, whether it's traveling to a theme park? We know you're going to several of those new ones that you haven't been to soon, but like overall, like what's on your heart? Where do you want to go for travel? What's your next stop? If you could go anywhere you wanted right now, what would be your next stop?
If I could go anywhere I wanted, what would be my next stop? If you do not know me, I am a huge Harry Potter fan.
Which we
I'm a
did
Harry
not
Potter
mention
fan.
that.
Yes, she
We didn't talk
is.
about that.
Yeah,
No.
you gotta brag about that for a minute. Go ahead and brag about
Yeah.
that.
Tell the people why you are the queen.
So if you don't know, I am one of the winners of Harry Potter Tournament of Houses. It is a game show that aired on the Cartoon Network, but you can watch it now on HBO Max. I am a Hufflepuff. Spoiler alert, we won. We took the championship home for the Hufflepuff. And it is a Harry Potter trivia show hosted by Helen Mirren. And my dream right now is to go to London and Scotland to see all of the Harry Potter filming locations. I want to actually go to Hogwarts. So that's my bucket list. That's what I'm trying to do right now. Hopefully in the next year or so, you guys will catch me in London.
Can we get Delish to take you?
Right? I'm like, somebody take me. Delish, Wizarding World, somebody offer your girl a trip to London and to Scotland so I can see all of these
We
different...
were just in London. We were just in London in May, and it's you are going to love.
I'm obsessed. I'm already ready to go back.
It's so good. It is so good. And we didn't even hardly see anything because we were there for 3 days, but it is on another level really good. I think you will love it. Love it. So, well, thank you again so much for joining. And we appreciate everyone for watching and being here and being part of Parkside Chat. Make sure check the description. We're gonna link anything that we the points that we talked about that we share links to. We'll share them in the description. Make sure to join our Patreon and be part of our community there over on Patreon. And if you're looking to plan your next trip, head over to planetwithliz.com. She'll get you hooked up with a quote and get you on your way for your next trip, wherever that is. So thank you again, Adriana. Thanks, everyone. And happy Halloween, even though it's August. what is it, August 14th, 13th, something like that. Happy
Yes.
Halloween.
I will say, because another episode I'm sure is going to be about Halloween Horror Nights.
Oh yeah, we're going to be talking
We're
about
going.
Halloween for months. I mean, we're going to be talking about Halloween from here on out. So happy Halloween, everyone.
Yes.
Prepare to be sick of us. So. All right, guys, until next time, we'll see you soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.